What's up, guys? Yeah, what a hell of a week that was. It was a short week up here in Canada, too. Still seemed to be really long. Anyway, I don't have anything to talk about. I'm just going to get right into this. Super excited for this one. Obviously, you guys know we have Mereyiah from my Kryptonite ball pythons. Pretty cool. Both of us are actually vending our first expos ever next weekend. So, yeah, should be interesting. Lots to talk about. I'm just going to jump right into it. So I will see you guys in I don't know, it's like 30 seconds long. I never actually timed it. It's Friday night, so you know what that means. Mereyiah, hello. How are you?
I am great.
Good. You still seem very fine and clear, and that's wonderful.
I was like, oh, I've only done one in the basement. I was like, but I have a backup plan. So
anything is an improvement over the connection issues we had last week. So
oh yeah, I mean, at least you could still talk with them and stuff.
Oh, absolutely. No, the fact that we still made it work was awesome.
For sure.
It was really frustrating for a few minutes there.
Yeah.
Anyway, it worked out. But
for sure. I mean, it was still a great live. For sure.
I would agree. I just wish there was more of it because it took so long to get to the point where we knew it was working. But whatever. We'll do another one at some point. I like Dan a lot.
Was that the first live he's done?
That's the first one I've ever heard of him doing. He might be on a couple other ones. I'm not too sure. Gotcha. I didn't dig too deeply, but I mean, It wouldn't surprise me either.
Yeah, because I haven't seen one with him on, and I thought that was pretty cool. I was pretty excited about that. I was like, oh, because like I don't know, he's just someone who I've since been in the hobby. It's just admired his animals. Like he makes beautiful animals.
And yeah, it was really cool for me too because I'd never actually spoken to him at any length before that. Like him and I would speak in passing, just like, "Oh, hey, like, what are you doing with that animal that I saw that you posted?" And like, you know what I mean, just
Yeah.
little sort of chit chat. But no, it was actually really cool to kind of hear his thoughts and like how he does stuff. It's everybody just seems to have their own way.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
No right way to do it, I suppose. So many different ways, and you can just kind of take bits and pieces of the knowledge and kind of do whatever you want to do with your own little collection or
So I'm going to jump right in to a question here, and then I'm going to get to something that you brought up. But first and foremost, origin of your business name.
oh, so I literally had one ball python and I was like, oh, I gotta make this a business. And I was I wanted to make an Instagram. I wanted to make one of those cringy Instagrams for your animals so I could just like spam the same animal over and over again. So I was like, what can I do? And my mom was like, oh, well, reptiles have always been like your weakness. Like you can't resist picking up a toad or a turtle. And I was like, I know, it's kind of like my kryptonite, eh? And I was like, oh shit. I was like, we just did it. And so I get it, my name can be kind of weird because thinking like, oh, well, I don't know, weak is kind of associated or like a weakness. But it's meaning to be more like your just something you can't resist. That's what I mean by kryptonite. It's your weakness. Like if someone posts a clown pied, like that's a soft spot in a good way. Like so that's kind of where that came from. It was just kind of I was thinking about what I should call my Instagram or my name, and my mom kind of set the idea off in my head.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's actually really cool. I was really hoping you weren't just going to be like, well, I'm a huge Superman fan. I was going to be like, oh, and this now.
No, I mean, I don't mind. I'm more of Jurassic Park kind of girl. I mean, I like Rex, Rexy. That's my superwoman right there. But yeah, I don't know. I suppose there is a lot of like confusion with my name. I've been asked that a lot, like why Kryptonite seems kind of weird. I was like, there is reason, but it's just kind of like somewhat hidden if you don't really.
I never thought it was weird though. Like I've definitely heard names before that I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Like, I remember years ago I saw somebody's name. And it was like butt ugly ball pythons or something, and I get that it was supposed to be a joke.
Yeah.
Like, haha, but like you see that and you're like, well,
yeah.
huh. So I mean, yeah, I never thought yours was weird. I just didn't really understand the reasoning of it. Right.
Well, I might change my name to Spoon Holder now. Balls.
If you have to go by that though, if that's the case.
Oh my god, it'd be my logo with like a snake curled up, like on each side, curled up on it.
Oh my god. Okay.
Oh my god.
For anybody that doesn't know you, first of all, if you want to introduce yourself, feel free. And then going to follow that up with what projects are you working on?
So I'm Mereyiah Taylor. I am in Southern Ontario, Canada, and I work with, GHI is, king or queen in this case. I'm just kidding. I'll just say the recessives I'm working on. I'm trying to get more heavy into Desert Ghost, but I have a fair amount of clown and I have a fair amount of pied and hypo. I would like to get puzzle and tri-stripe. I don't know how heavy I want to go into puzzle. I do like it, but there's certain things in it that I'm seeing now this year that I'm kind of like, I mean, don't get me wrong, beautiful, but not as excited as I'd hoped. So maybe I'll go more the tri-stripe route with DG. And I think because the pastel tri-stripe DG that's a goal animal. So those are just some of the projects I work on. And then I have lots of incomplete dominant stuff.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you have any pied stuff at all?
I have GHI pieds. I have
That's kind of why I was asking. You talked about all these recessives, but you've been throwing all these GHI pieds up on your Instagram lately.
Yeah, I have GHI pieds. I have a few hets. I don't have a whole lot of visual. Like I have a few single gene pied females, but I'm really gonna with the GHI pied male now. I'm gonna make some combo hets and maybe some combo visuals. That would be really cool.
Nice. Yeah. You
Yeah.
know what? I think the GHI pied stuff's super underrated still.
Mm-hmm.
Like I saw a GHI yellow belly pie that Miguel made last year.
Oh yeah, that's
And it made me want to get GHI into every pied I have. And unfortunately, I don't have it in any pied I have yet. But I do have it in a double het clown pied female, leopard GHI double het.
Oh, I know what animal you're talking about.
And then we do have another one. But so far that's the only animal I have in pied, but we have a lot of like GHI het clown stuff that we plan on working into our clown pied stuff because our male's the ODYB leopard pied het clown.
Yeah.
So we plan on getting it there one way or another.
Don't you have a super GHI het clown female?
Super GHI Mojave het clown, yes.
Yeah.
And
I was
she's
gonna
a breeder.
say, I'm like, I remember when you got that, I was like the most jealous.
Yeah, it's super. Well, it's funny because we bought her at like 250 grams, and she's pretty much ready to breed now.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we bought her like right before COVID last year, and then we waited till like, well, you remember how long everybody was waiting for the first import of the year last year after COVID?
Yeah.
It was like 8 months or 9 months or something like that. By the time we got her, she was like 1,000 grams.
Oh, well, you can't be. Well, at least you know that the breeder was not just like maintenance feeding. So.
Oh, and the thing was too, it's really funny because the guy that we bought her off of was a guy that I had been kind of watching his stuff for a long time on Morph Market. And this was my first real interaction with him. And he's just like genuinely the nicest dude, makes some of the craziest animals I've ever seen. He was actually on, I can't remember if I did the episode on my channel or if we did it on Kathleen's channel. But Morphs by Design. Dude's out of New York State, I believe. Gotcha. Just crazy stuff. Like just insane. And yeah, couldn't have been happier with her. Now she's probably pushing like 1,800 grams, and I'm trying to decide if I want to put her to the ODYB leopard pied het clown or the stranger combo het clown.
I mean, either pairing. I mean, you can't.
The problem is, but it's like it's either, but it's like but both. But then I don't want to like.
Yeah, the confusion in that would be.
Oh, and then I have the confusion too. I can use that male also.
Well, maybe it's destiny. I don't know. I mean, if it were me, I would get a GHI combo and do super GHI clown stuff.
But I can take any babies that I get from this and do that anyway next year.
That's
while
true.
Making either visual stranger GHI clowns or
that's true.
Possible visual GHI ODYB leopard clown het pieds. Like
that's fair. I mean,
and any GHI male that I would find now probably wouldn't be ready for when she's ready to start pairing.
See, that's big brain energy. I keep saying that. You got big brain energy.
Because it's funny because the reason you say that, I immediately consider every suggestion somebody gives me. If it looks like I just brushed it off, it's not. As soon as you said that, I was like, oh wait, that's a pot. Like, holy crap, maybe. But no, like I was actually we were gonna pick up a GHI Krypton from June, and that was what
Yeah.
like big time consideration for her. And we actually have a GHI Krypton plus that hypo right beside her in the adult rack. And she's ready to breed too.
Oh, nice.
So whatever I decide not to do with the super, I can still do with the GHI Krypton.
Oh, well, then you're at a win, whatever you do. I mean, you can't really go wrong. You're going to have GHI something. So,
see, the only reason I didn't immediately just jump on the Super GHI Clown thing, and like I've thought about making one for a long, long time, ever since I saw the first one that June made. But then one of the many times he's already been on my lives between Instagram and here, he mentioned that he thought there was something else going on in his GHI stuff, and especially in that female. And it made me immediately like go, wait, so if that's not exactly what a GHI clown should look like I don't know if I want to expend all my energy to make a
yeah.
half-assed version of that. You know what I mean? I was like, I'll wait till June figures it out.
I kind of have a theory. Like, I don't know about his GHI stuff, but I really feel like there's like obviously there's going to be different lines of GHIs, but I strongly feel like there are two different GHIs, even within my own collection, because Nathan and I did a split pairing, and one was to it was his GHI blackhead to my GHI female. All we just wanted to hit super GHI blackheads. We missed, but the GHIs that I hatched and what we thought was a GHI blackhead at first, which turned out to be, we still don't even know exactly what she is. She's just weird. And they're significantly different than the GHI stuff that's been produced before. So that my female is different than the GHI that's in the male that we bred. So it was weird. We were getting two different GHIs, like wildly different.
So you're suggesting it's kind of like the different lines of yellow belly, where
I think so.
You can hit like a goblin and a yellow belly in the same clutch, and still not always, but like there's differences.
Yeah, like
differences.
It's debatable if it's like obviously it's polymorphism within the gene, but like with the line, it's just if I had them side by side in my hand, you would think that one of them has something else in it because that's how different they were. Like to the point where we thought it was a really weird GHI blackhead. So the female had to be sold as a GHI, but was like, she's pretty unique looking, but there was nothing else in the pairing other than the red ringer gene, which Nathan has made a couple of those, and he's like, that's nothing like I've seen before. So I don't know. Nathan got me thinking about the different lines, and I was like, you know what? It kind of does make sense because I don't think I've made two GHIs the same from different clutches, if that makes sense. So if I took a GHI from one clutch and a GHI from the other, it's weird. But that was the first GHI to GHI pairing that I had done. So I think, I don't know. It's really unique, and I kind of want to figure it out.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that because we did something similar last year. We have this yellow belly hepide. That's just the craziest, most high expression yellow belly I've ever seen. Like her patterns, like you would never look at her and be like, "Oh, that's just a yellow belly."
Yeah.
And we put her to a yellow belly pied, and we were trying to make ivory pieds, and we missed on ivory pieds, but we got two ivory hets that we held back, and the four babies that weren't the ivories were all yellow belly, and three were this destroyed, crazy, whacked out yellow belly that looked exactly like the mom. And then the third one looked like a normal plain ass yellow belly that you'd find anywhere.
Yeah.
And it was so weird because like it was so drastically different. There wasn't an in between.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So what I think happened is the mom is the one that's got, because I believe she was a virgin before then. So we call him Shady, the blackhead GHI. We call him Shady. Anyway, so Shady has made many GHIs, and I mean they've been gorgeous. Like he's quality male, but there wasn't anything ever necessarily odd. But with this female, I don't think she looks necessarily odd to me, maybe a little bit darker than the average. But like, I think that the weird baby carried on the GHI gene from her. So I don't know. It's really like, and then the male that we had hatched, that was like right in the egg. I was like, oh, that is for sure a super GHI. It can't not be. And then it came out, and I was like, well, shit. It's just weird. I don't know. It was just an odd clutch, and it was kind of like cool, but at the same time, we missed on what we wanted. So hard
No,
to.
those are always the roller coaster clutches when there's something weird in the eggs and you get super excited and it comes out and you were just like looking at something like
Yeah.
at the wrong angle and you're just like, ah, are you joking?
Oh, you just have blushed on that part of your spine, not the rest of you.
Yeah. Oh, that's not what the whole of you looks like. Of course, that's only what you showed me for the past.
Yeah, for
Oh
sure.
my god.
Teasers.
Okay. Next question. What's the reason you do this? How'd you get here?
All the money. No.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you explain. Give me 1 second.
So why I do this is purely because I just enjoy it. I love the animals. I enjoy the break from, I don't know, I guess the world, people, my kids. It's just kind of nice to come down here and relax and just do my own thing, not have to share it with anybody. But at the same time, when I want to share it, I have a community of people who are like, woo, about like things that you made. And it's just makes you feel nice. But I don't know. I just love it. It's just pure enjoyment.
I mean, I don't think it has to be any deeper than that. Like as long as you love it, then
It really is just about as deep as that. I love it. It makes me feel good. It's a stress relief. I mean, sometimes they are stressful. But like it's not
yeah.
like it's not like a stress that I carry with me on my chest, so to speak. Like it's just like, oh well, I missed on that. That sucks. Or, unfortunately maybe a baby passed away in the egg, or it's a stress that I don't mind having for the rest of it. Because it's just the rest of it's worth it.
It's the only stress that doesn't bother me that I have.
Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. Like I don't mind having the stress because the rest of it's so great.
Yeah, because all my other stress is just crap. I'm like, oh, fucking work, oh, fucking this. Like, and then you start thinking about the snakes, and like, even if it's a bad thing, you're like, ah, man, I can't believe that happened. And then you sit there and you're like, oh, but I did fucking hit this year.
Absolutely.
And that did happen. Oh, fuck, and that happened too. And you're like, you know what? Actually, it's not that bad.
Yeah. Yep, for sure. Like I don't know. I enjoy it. I've had a few bad things happen, but I mean, I think after the GHI pies, I'm set for like 10 years. I'm happy for like 10 years.
Oh.
It doesn't matter what happens. I'm good.
I still find it funny that you and I hit basically the same thing in like a similar amount of eggs at the exact same time, just with different genes.
Yeah.
Because you got what? You got 3 males, right? 3 visual males?
Yep, I got 3 males in the first. Oh my god, that was such a roller coaster. I was like, oh my god, I hit 3 GHI pieds in this first clutch, and there was 2 regular pieds, and then 2 GHIs, and then and then just a normal het pied. And I was like, oh my god, this is the best clutch ever. I literally hit 3, 2, and 2. And I was like, oh my god. So when they came out, the first one came out, I'm like, okay, boy. And I'm still like bouncing. I'm like, okay, I can handle that. There's my holdback, boy. And then the next one came out, and I'm like, okay, it's a boy. We can stop that now. And then the third one came out, and I was like, it's a boy. And I was like, oh no. And then I text Nathan, I'm like, they're all boys. And he's like, well, I dibs one, but also you still have another clutch with 5 eggs. And I was like, that's true. And the rest of the clutch was girls, by the way.
Of course.
Literally, I hit 2 pied girls, 2 GHI het pied girls, and then a normal het pied girl. The next clutch, I cut it, and I swear, all the ones that were pieds were so wonky. I was like, these all look like GHI pieds, and I didn't know what a GHI fire pied looked like. So I was like, did I hit these with fire? They were wild looking, and then they came out, and I was like, oh, okay, so it's just one GHI pied, and really 2. They still are weird pieds. And then I popped it, and it was a girl, and I was like, I hit my girl. So I hit 3 boys, 1 girl, and I can't complain. So I got my 2 holdbacks.
It's kind of funny that we have very different experiences because we cut our clutch and we hit the 3 asphalt pieds. And I was like, I looked at Nick, and for the first time ever, I was like, dude, if every single one of those are a male, I'm still over the moon. Like, fuck it. I don't even care. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
He was like, why? And I was like, how many asphalt pieds can you like go on Morph Market and buy right now? Asphalt / yellow belly pieds?
Yep.
All day long for $1,000 or $1,200 or whatever they are. Freeway pieds, sure. Can you go find a guaranteed asphalt pied right now?
Yeah.
Can you find one? We just found 3 that'll be ready to breed in a year.
Absolutely.
So I was like, what we do is we hold on to them. Once 2 of them are breeding, 1 will go up for sale.
Smart.
Yep. Yeah, who's that fucking guy? That's fucking weird. But yeah, no, it was really funny because as they crawled out, like I was like, that's not gonna happen though. Like I said it, so it's not gonna happen. First one came out, it was a male. I was like, okay, cool. So it came out, it was a male, and I was like, all right, cool. And then by that time I was like, okay, we got 3 boys. And the asphalt het pied came out. And that popped as a female. And I was like, okay, like now I have a holdback female too. Yeah. So the last pied came out, and of course, bang, male. And I was like, you know what? Like I said, I wasn't going to complain, so I'm just going to be happy about it. And the more I see them, like they're all going into their second shed right now. Like I'm pretty sure one's Enchi asphalt pied, and then the other 2 are just asphalt pieds. But oh my god, like every day they just look better and better. It's just like this pumpkin orange, like it's so crazy. They're so different from yellow belly pieds. Like,
they're beautiful. I think I kind of jinxed myself with like, I'll go with the first clutch, and like before I knew that I hit the female, I wasn't disappointed. Like I was still ecstatic that I hit these beautiful, but I wanted to keep them all, and I couldn't justify keeping 3 GHI pied males. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna keep these 2 males, and it was the higher pattern ones. Mm-hmm. I was like, I'll keep those, and I'll sell the one that's like literally 50-50, half white, half pattern, even though he's really pretty. So I was like, Nathan, you know, I promised you could take one, so you can take this guy. And then I hit my girl, and then I was like, okay, so I can. Since Nathan has the one, I know that he already said like, hey, if your male doesn't like get up to size or whatever, we can like. So I still have that option. So I was like, okay, I'm comfortable selling the 3rd male because I'm keeping one. Nathan got one, and then I had the 3rd one. Mm-hmm. So I sold it to the States along with a GHI het pied female. He wanted the pair, and I was like, okay, we set up a deal. And then just the other day, he had said, hey, unfortunately, I can only proceed paying for the female because I just think life happened for him, which is understandable. So he had paid me for the female. He's still getting her. But then he's like, I'm going to have to pass on the GHI pied male. So now I have a GHI pied male that I'm like, oh, I guess I could keep him. But if like, I've had so many people inquire, and then I tell them like, I want $1,500 for him because he was sold for, I think we agreed on $1,300 US. Mm-hmm. So, and then I have people that are like, oh, that's pretty steep. I'm like, I get that, but go find one then. Like, I don't think you're going to find one, especially in Canada right now. And if I may say so, this quality. Because I think
they're very, very nice animals, and you're not wrong to stick to your guns. Like, Right when I was about to move, I was pretty tight on cash. So like we were thinking about letting one go. And somebody messaged me and I was like, you know what? I'd think about it. And they're like, oh, well, what would you want for it? And I said, $2,500 Canadian, but
Yeah.
$2,500. And they went, why would I pay that? I can get a freeway pied for 3,000. Then go get a freeway pied. If you want to make asphalt / yellow belly pieds,
Yeah.
you have to prove out, feel free.
For sure.
And they're like, well, what do you mean? It's like, well, this thing isn't going to throw yellow belly. Yeah, it's not going to throw one or the other, but it's everything that comes out looking yellow belly is asphalt.
Yeah. So it's like a for sure.
So you want to go on it or not? Because like this is what I'm going, like I'm keeping it for anything less. Is it a little too expensive? It might be, but that's the price I'm letting this go at.
Yeah.
And they hummed and hawed about it. And 3 days passed, and my financial situation changed a little bit. And they came back to me, and I was like, "Sorry, man."
Yeah, sometimes you got to pull that trigger. Sometimes.
And they were like, "What do you mean? Did you sell it?" And I was like, "No, it's not the right time anymore. I don't need to sell it. Sorry.
I don't need to sell it. Sorry, that's totally mine now."
I'm like, it's our decision whether we sell or don't sell these animals, right? We don't owe anybody anything about any of the snakes we make.
Yeah.
Or anything at all for that reason. That said, I have missed so many comments.
Yeah, I it's hard. It's really hard for me to let go of the GHI pieds. Like it physically hurts.
That's so the one that we think is Inchy asphalt pied. It's super weird because I've gotten so many mixed answers on this animal, from it being just a really nice pied to a weird asphalt pied to, oh, that's definitely Inchy asphalt pied. And I'm talking from some of the like top guys down to people you've never heard of, like a whole bunch of answers. But based on actually Austin helped us. He showed us a bunch of really weird animals that Billy's made that they've had for years and years that are like breeder size now and stuff like that. And he'd be like, this literally hatched looking like that. That's what this is.
Oh.
That, you know what I mean? And I actually got to like see some of the animals in person. But it's the thought of letting go of any of them, even an animal that there's like a possibility might not even be asphalt. I was just like, no, I don't want to.
if it's cool and if it's something different that can enhance your pieds, like Matt Pistone, I had bought 2 fire het pieds and a beautiful pied, the mother of the 3 GHI pieds. It was a beautiful pied female, and he said to me, he's like, I have, at the time he had 3 pied females, I think 2 or 3 pied females for sale, and he's like, I have this really pretty dark one that would go well with your GHI projects. Like if you want to keep them dark and whatever, she might throw dark babies. I think he wanted like, I think he was cutting me a deal for like $1,300 for her or something. And then there was a second female that was around the same price. And then he showed me this beautiful one, and she glowed. She was almost the color of the baby pieds that come out. Just orange capture color, and I was like, oh my god. And he said she's 500 extra. Oh my god.
Oh Jesus, that was so good. That was so funny.
I feel bad for laughing, but at the same time.
No, thank you, Antoine. That was amazing.
Oh man. But yeah, so he's like, well, that female's 500 extra. And I was like, do I cheap out and just get a pied female just to have a pied female? Or do I spend the extra $500 on this quality female? Like you could just see it. It radiated off of her. And I was like, you know what? Let's just do it. I'll give you the extra money for that one. So I ended up taking her home, and then she actually, all 3 of those females went that I got from him. And the one fire het pied, and the pied girls are the mamas to the GHI pieds. The fire
awesome.
het made my girl.
That's
But yeah.
sick.
Yeah, and I do not regret spending that extra $500 because I think it made them that much nicer.
Yeah,
So.
that's I don't disagree with you. I definitely believe that the expression, the polymorphism in the individual snake can have an impact on the offspring.
Absolutely.
Sal wants his damn question thrown up. He's a little friggin' drama queen over there crying about it. Question: have either of you seen the recessive zebra gene, and what are your thoughts on it? I haven't actually. I haven't.
I would love to answer this, but I haven't either. I'm sorry. It sounds kind of cool though. Like
Get a better question next time, Sal. God.
Yeah, your question's denied.
I actually have not heard about that though.
I haven't either. Is it a states thing?
I'm not sure. That's another question though. B&H Reptiles. How do you get a stubborn first-time male to lock other than the shed trick? None of my males are in shed. I saw Antoine gave some pointers out, which was, throw another male in with them, let them kind of duke it out a bit.
I just yell at them or I put on some nice music.
I mean, there you go.
Yeah.
No, another one that I've noticed, well, I shouldn't say I've noticed, but another one that I've noted can help is take a heavy duty spray bottle and just fill it with like not warm, but like lukewarm water, I guess, on the cooler side. And once you put the animals together, spray the tub down like heavy and then just leave them for like 24 hours. For some reason, that seems to help. Not sure why. Also, for the shed trick, you can always just keep that male's shed in a Ziploc bag. And as long as you keep the air pressed out of it, it won't lose the disgusting shed smell. And that's what you need. So that's another pointer for you.
My 2-year-old will walk around with a fresh shed, and I'm just like, gross. That's just gross. Yeah, I also have heard of people taking the sperm from another male and wiping it on the female's back. I know that's kind of like icky, but I've heard it works. I've witnessed Billy do it in person on a female, and I don't know. He's told me that it works. I think that's who I learned that from.
I've definitely tried it. I wouldn't say I've had enough success one way or another to say that does anything.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it doesn't do anything. I just don't think I've tried it enough to say otherwise. But yeah, there are lots of tricks. The shed thing, spraying the tank down, the sperm thing, the letting the males spar. Another really good one too is to put the male in with a female is building for sure. Don't try to get a pairing from a first-time male to a female that you're like if you're not ultrasounding, you're not 100%. Don't just like throw it in with a female that might not even be building. If you've seen your girl bull wrapping, all that kind of stuff, if you have a first-time breeder that's giving you a hard time, try putting him in with the animal that is producing follicles, because I have a feeling that helps.
I mean, she probably lets off even more of a pheromone when she is, ready to copulate. I mean, that would make sense to me.
Anyway, that's just my 2 cents. I don't know if that actually helps at all either. Here we go. How and when did you get into the hobby?
So the hobby as a whole, the reptile hobby, back in I think it was 2011, I got a bearded dragon, and then I ended up with 40 bearded dragons and a Savannah monitor. I had a corn snake, and then I got a ball python. And I actually was looking back at my emails. I think I got my first snake ever from Peter Williams years ago, which I had no idea until this moment. But anyway, so yeah, back in 2011, I had bearded dragons, and that was a a mess. I had way too many bearded dragons, and they were all in glass tanks in this room that was just floor to ceiling tanks. It was crazy. Never again. But in 2017, my friend Tyler Latteroot and Sean Little, and they got me into the ball pythons by telling me like it's really fun, it's great, you know, you can breed, you can make these cool things. They were explaining how genetics work. I had no clue. I had a little bit of an idea of some of it from bearded dragons, but it's not the same. So I ended up getting a phantom firefly from Jeff Hoschel. I don't know if you know, he's more into like retics now and stuff like that.
Yep.
He don't like ball pythons anymore. But yeah, he got me into all this. So, I mean, sorry, Jeff. But anyway, so got that snake, and then I just kind of built on from there, and I have not stopped. I mean,
sudden the crippling debt.
The kryptonite death.
Fuck.
I think that I've spent more this year than I've had together, combined in other years. Spent entirely too much, but not enough at the same time.
I was going to say I haven't spent that much this year, but that would be a complete and utter lie. Like the first thing I thought of was that blackhead leopard. Oh my God, what is it? Blackhead leopard Mojave pied female I bought from Nicole.
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, never mind. Shut up, Chris. Like, don't say words.
Yeah, that's expensive. I mean,
it was worth it though. That animal's amazing.
Mm-hmm. Does she still have that other one? It's a similar combo. It might have sold. She had it at the beginning of August. I don't know. It was. I know that she's got, I think, Mojave yellow-belly pieds right now, females, and I think there was a blackhead Mojave yellow-belly pied female. Maybe. I don't know, but I think she's gone, but she was really nice too. I was tempted by her.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I have a blackhead leopard Mojave yellow-belly pied female from Justin. And then I have the non-yellow belly version that I bought from Nicole after, actually, just because I like the combo so much.
It is. I mean, even like visually, it's one of the best pieds, I think. I really like the look.
I'm going to be putting it right into clown pie, though. So.
Oh, that's what I would do, too. Absolutely. That's exactly what I would do.
I'm very, very excited. So, sorry, did you give like a when you got in?
So the ball pythons, like the actual breeding,
yes.
2017.
17?
Well,
very nice.
December 2017. I still count.
Oh,
I count.
Okay. Whoops. Nope. Do that. There we go. How many clutches do you expect, or did you expect, I guess, if you're done for this year, 2021?
I honestly didn't. Still don't know. So right now, I think I paired 26 females. And I want to say that I'm at, well, the female at Billy's ovulated. I have a female about to lay. What's that at? 12? Is that 12 clutches? 11? Something like that. And I don't know. I genuinely do not know how many more females are going to go before the end of this year. Or if it's going to bleed into next season, kind of. I'm pairing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 more females now.
Nice.
So who knows what they decide to do? This all might be for 2022. But I know at least I have one more female laying for this season.
That's good.
Yeah.
We just had our last like for sure clutch for 2021, which was the black bee. Yeah, the black bee lavender 50% het pied to her yellow belly pied het lav.
Oh, I really hope that proves for you.
I think it will. She's got a giant like orange stripe right near her tail. So cool. I'm really hoping that's a ringer, because if that animal proves out and I can hit like a like a black pewter yellow belly dreamsicle, I'll be over the moon. We only have 5 eggs though, so if she proves out, luckily it's visual het to visual het. But if she doesn't prove out, then still some cool lav combos, I guess.
For sure. I'm
right?
kind of
they'll all be het pied at that point. So
yeah, like some of those 50% hets can really just. I mean, it's a gamble, and like I don't charge any extra if I hit 50% hets. I mean, I personally don't. I don't judge people that do. I mean, I get it. Like, if you're selling like a blackhead female that's 50% het clown pied or something, you might want to throw a little bit extra money out. Like, but I have a super enchy GHI lesser 50% het hypo male, and like it's het hypo is not crazy, but like if I sell him and he proves, I'm gonna be a little bit like.
So I have a weird feeling about the whole 50% het hypo thing, or not het hypo, but 50% het thing in general. So like, I think I showed you, but I have those leopard males that are double het. They're the het DG pos het pieds.
Yeah. 3
of them are double hets. It's not, oh, I think they might be. Like 3 of them are double hets.
Yeah.
I'll still sell them as 50% het. I mean, I'm probably going to put another 150 bucks on it though, because it's a double het DG pie. Like it is. Yeah. Like I would happily give anybody that extra money back if it didn't prove. That's how certain I'd be. But for the most part, like we made a bunch of double het clown pied 50% het hypos last year. And I mean, I didn't charge anything for the 50% het hypo. Like,
yeah,
I really didn't even care all that much about it, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure.
If any of the 3 females we held back prove out het hypo, then all of a sudden my tune will change, I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's how it always goes. It's like, I don't really care until it proves. And then fuck you. No. Yeah. It's like, I wish you well, but not that
well. But yeah, no, I agree with you. Like, if I made, well, I'll put it this way. In that same clutch of the het DG pos het pieds, it was a leopard desert ghost het pied to an ivory. So there are a couple male yellow belly het DG pos het pieds.
Yeah.
They could be double hets, but I'm not going to go adding price on because it could be het pied. You know what I mean? Like, if there's any obvious markers, maybe. But even still, like, unless it's a friggin' leopard that has a bright orange ringer that goes all the way around its tail, like,
yeah,
I'm not going to charge anything extra because it's a 50% on that. Like in that case,
yeah.
Same if it was like a het pied pos het clown or a. Last year we made a bunch of het pied pos het lavenders, 50% het lavenders. I just sold them as het pied combos. Like,
for sure.
Obviously, you tell people that they're pos het lav, but I just sold them for the equivalent of what the combo would be as a het pied. So
yeah, there's like I've actually gotten some comments before, like, why are you saying they're 50% hypo? Like, it doesn't even matter if you're not charging for it. I'm like, I'm gonna say what their potential genetics are. Just like if I think that it's, I don't know, maybe a fire, like I'm going to say, hey, it might be fire, but I'm not going to charge extra for that. But I'm still going to let people know because that might dictate their pairings. They might want to gamble.
Hey, yeah, that's the truth. Like I've heard of people not being totally forthcoming about certain genes or hets just because they think that it'll intimidate people into not buying them. Like, if you have a couple animals that are, say, like male double hets that you don't need, if you post them on Kijiji as male double hets, you know, the casual pet owner might just scroll right past your ad and keep going, thinking, you know, I just want a normal ball python. Why would I pay all this money for this fancy shit? Even though chances are you're probably cheaper than the people selling their pets with the tank and all. Whereas just saying, hey, it's a normal, like, might make it go quicker. But I'm with you. Like, it makes no sense not to disclose it. Like,
Yeah, I mean, like if especially if it's a female, because someone might be like, oh well, I have this male. If I put it to her and she doesn't prove, okay. If she proves, perfect. That might actually dictate someone's pairing.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Even a male,
it's
depending.
actually funny that we're talking about this because this exact thing happened to Michelle this year 2 different times. Mordex ball pythons.
Yep.
And I don't know if I touched on it when I was live with her a couple weeks ago. Was that last week? No, last week was Dan. Um, but she got this crazy, crazy powerful male from Aussie.
Yep.
Super OD, super Enchi, leopard, banana, hep hide.
Oh wow, that's
Yeah.
nice.
Double super female maker too, of course.
Oh
Right?
wow.
Like, of course.
Yep.
She did one pairing to something Dream Bee, lesser yellow belly, I think it was. Yeah. Made ivories.
Oh
Proved out yellow belly.
wow.
They didn't know that it could potentially be yellow belly.
Well, shit.
2 pairings later, made super fires. They weren't told that it could possibly be fire.
Oh, but could you imagine, like, in those super fires, all the possible hidden genes?
Oh, I'm trying to pry one of the ivories away from them. Like, could you imagine ODYB? No, sorry, OD Enchi, and it's banana because it's female.
Yep.
OD Enchi banana leopard. I can't even remember what else is in that female.
Just a bunch of shit.
Yeah, just fuck you all the way. Ivory, and then it's
Yeah.
plus het pied too, and it's like
God.
ringered to hell, so it's gonna prove het pied. Like, it's nuts. And she's like, I can't believe we did this, and I'm like, I can't believe you did this. Like, she's like, oh man, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, and
I
the funny part is, like, this female I'm trying to pry away from them, they still hit an even better one. Like,
oh
the
my
one
God.
I want to take from them doesn't have leopard in it. The one that they want to keep, it has leopard, and this thing's fucking like, it's like orange and purple. It's just nuts.
Their collection, I've been to go get that pastel DG mail.
Oh,
Is
you went to them to get it?
yeah. I drove all the way up there to go
I
and
would
get.
recommend it, so that's fine.
It's a long, long drive, but it was worth it to see their lovely faces, and it's always it's always nice to have a chat with them. But their collection is so like, I told her, I'm like, you gotta post more because like just your animals are just phenomenal.
And did she tell you that Chris tells her the same thing all the time?
Yeah, she did. Oh, I hit my thing. But yeah, I want the GHI Phantom Yellow Belly female that she has. I've tried to get that on a few times, and she's like, "No, I can't." And I was like, "Oh, but you can."
Just keep trying. You'll eventually break her.
But please.
No, I actually just picked up a couple females from her today. ODYB leopard, lesser spider head clown female, and then just another leopard spider head clown female.
Perfect.
Well, just because we just made that crazy spot nose clown male.
Yeah.
And as much as I don't want to add any more lesser into my collection, I really couldn't pass up the ODYB leopard het clown part for the one animal.
Yeah.
And then the other one was just sort of part of the deal, and I wasn't going to say no. So, oh, damn, Will's in the house. What's up, buddy?
Do you, okay, this just hit me. Do you still have that champagne female?
Mm-hmm. She's never bred for me.
That's a shame because she's gorgeous. Hey, Will.
Honestly, if you have, like, once we get our room set up, like, I was literally looking at her like 2 days ago. Like, we've bred her a couple years in a row now. Last year we tried to put her to the Enchi Asphalt het pied.
Oh, nice. Be a nice pairing.
She reabsorbed, and then he went off food because he's a dick. But the year before that, I can't even remember what we tried to breed her to. I think it was the yellow belly pied het lav, and she reabsorbed then too. But like, She's great. She's nice and big. She eats, like, no
Yeah,
problems with her.
I think she's one of the prettiest females I've ever had, to be honest.
Yeah,
Visually.
no, she's beautiful, beautiful animal. I just don't know what the hell to do with her.
What is she? A Sterling Champagne?
Sterling Champagne Possible Het Pied is what she's labeled as.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, she's got that ringer.
I mean, yeah, champagnes generally
Yeah.
for ringers anyway, but like, the thing is though, I really want to have a pairing for her that even if she doesn't prove Het Pied, like, and I'm kind of hoping she doesn't, just because champagne pieds are all white. If she proves, you know.
Yeah. True.
But I've seen T-Dot posting a bunch of really cool calico OD champagne stuff.
Oh yeah, I messaged them like they're not for sale, are they? And
No.
Selfish.
I know that as well. I definitely did the same thing. But yeah, I'm starting to think maybe I'll do that. I just need to get some more calico in my pied stuff. I really only have a pastel sugar Het Dream right now. So
I really like the sugar stuff. Like I genuinely do not know if calico and sugar, like when it comes to sugar and calico, I don't have an opinion if they're different because I don't know. But I have more sugar than I do calico, and I noticed that sugar throws really high weight stuff.
I can't say I've ever looked into it enough to be able to say if I tell a difference or not.
Yeah. I mean, I have Nicole's line of sugar.
Oh, her stuff is just nuts though. Like,
and I don't know if it's just that line or whatever, but that line of sugar is better than the calico stuff that I have.
After we're off this live, message Michelle and tell her that I told you to tell her to show you the sugar stuff she just made.
All right, I will.
That was a very convoluted sentence, and I'm sorry.
I'm going to do it, though.
You should. Okay, question. What would each of you consider a successful day at the expo? Probably not murdering somebody.
That's a good start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that I'm calling it. That's it for me.
For me, I think just to see, like, I'm nervous. I'm not gonna lie, I'm nervous, but like nervous good. Like I'm not scared. I just, got a little bit of like anxiety and stuff and seeing everybody but there's a lot of people that have messaged me and have been like, I'm gonna stop by and say hi, or literally a few people have bought tickets just because it's my first, and that's like awesome feeling that I have friends that are willing to like drive buy a ticket just to say hi at my first expo. But I think a successful day is, selling a few animals, but also just seeing all of my friends and just kind of having a good day,
I never said how I would murder somebody. Come on. God. Cody knows what's up. Yeah.
That's a good start, but selling some stuff would be great too.
I think realistically, I would like to make enough money to cover paying for the table.
Yes.
Make enough money maybe to pay myself a little bit of gas to the show. Maybe a case of beer after the fact. Maybe a pizza.
Yep.
And honestly, I would consider that a good day, especially for my first show. Now, that might not sound like a lot. That's literally only a few $100s.
Yeah.
But no, I would consider that a success. If I get to cover my costs and get to hang out with all the people I know all day and then show off all these cool animals I've made.
Absolutely.
Especially for my first show. That's all I can really ask for. So
that, all of what you just said, plus I'm getting a hotel room. I'm going up the night before. So I'd like to cover that.
Fucking da.
I am not getting up at 4:30. I'm 4 hours away from the expo, almost.
That sucks to be you.
I refuse to get up at 4:30. I would not be fucking bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Fuck that. You want friendly Mereyiah? I have to spend the night at a hotel. That's how that's gonna. If I'm gonna have to deal with people all day, which is fine, I'll be fine. But I would have a lot more sarcastic commentary if I didn't get enough sleep.
Or perhaps had your Instagram deleted the night before.
Oh, yeah. That would be. Yeah. Well,
That was fun.
Yeah,
That was
that's
my least favorite expo. I feel like I was the biggest prick to everybody.
uh,
Like,
and then
I'm sure Billy was just like, "What are you fucking doing here? Go home. Like, get the fuck away."
when I first had saw you and Michelle was like, "Oh, there's Brian." She's like, "What did she say?" It embarrassed me. She was like, "Oh, you're so hot."
She's so fucking weird. Like, just out with it. Just nothing, no filter.
I was dying inside of like, "Oh my god, don't say that." And then at the same time, she's like, "All these young reptile girls are so hot." Oh, it had me dying, and I was like, "Oh my god, I love you." But at the same time, I was like, "Don't say that. There's people."
Oh, she's something else. I love Michelle and Paul. They're really, really good people. And yeah, see, Malcolm will admit it. I was such a bitch. Oh my god, I was so angry. Like, and not just angry, just like generally pissy at everything.
Well, I mean, I guess I didn't see you for long, but you didn't seem bitchy to
You
me.
mostly caught me while I was like en route to somewhere, though. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
that and
yeah,
I was
no. When I was
like,
just sitting behind the table, I was just like sitting there, like fucking piece of shit, fucking cunt. Like,
I was like, I need to take that snake home, and you're probably just ruining yourself. And I'm just like, oh, that's such a pretty snake, and you're probably like, fuck the world.
that's basically how my entire Sunday was.
I was just like, yippee.
Okay, here's one for you.
What made you realize?
Oh, you're getting talked up here in the comments.
No.
This also go subscribe. Very close to 1,000. Oh yes. What made you realize you wanted to work with animals? And this is like, I know you already said when you got in the hobby a bit, but like, what was the moment where you realized you loved this? Like all of it.
Animals in general or reptiles? We
Just animals. Just what made you realize you wanted to be working with anything, even your horses?
Oh, my mom. I mean, not the reptiles. My mom's afraid of reptiles, but my mom was a horse trainer when I was a kid. So my mom had this 8-foot tall round pen, like these big, massive log posts. And she would go to auctions and take these horses that are like getting shipped off to slaughter, really. And she would bid a couple $100 on them. And then we'd take trailer loads home, and there'd be these horses that are like damaged inside and out. They have scars. Some of them had like, I don't know, just issues and mental issues. And I would watch my mom just take these big horses and make them run in a circle around and dirt flying up. And I was just like over the post looking and just, this is the best thing ever. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And then at the end, like 30, 60 days later, these horses would be dead broke going to the forever families. And I was like, I have to do this with my life. And when I was in high school, I did that. I trained horses, and then I went out to Alberta. I did a lot of Western gaming shows. What's it called? I can't think of it. Not an expo, like when you do like a clinic with teaching people how to do stuff.
Mm-hmm.
My specialty is scared young horses, teaching them to trust people. And I know that sounds so like horse whisperer cringe, but it's true. That's what I'm good at. I'm really good at getting to the root of a horse's problem. And it has been forever in me. Like I don't remember a time where I didn't. It has always been there since I was like really little. Always loved animals. Cats, dogs, horses, doesn't matter. I love them. It's just animals in general. And the reptiles, I don't know where that came from. Literally, neither side of my family will even look at a snake. They're terrified. So
I mean, I feel like for anybody though, all it takes is that moment of no fear when you're a child, when you pick up that one toad or that one garter snake.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and you could not even really like them at that point. You just for some reason feel compelled to pick one up, and like then you see it and you feel it, and like you kind of like your brain like switches, and you're like,
yeah.
whoa, what the fuck? Like this is really cool.
Okay, so this kind of brings up a really funny story. So when it was like the first time I was drunk. I think I was like 15. Like I know that's so taboo, but like so I
Oh
was
no,
drinking at a
anything but
friend's.
underage drinking.
But like so I had a couple pops and it was my first time and there was this big heated shop that there was this party going on in and I went in there and I brought two toads and I'm not normal. Like I'm gone. Mentally I'm gone. And I'm carrying these two toads into this party and I'm just like, look it, why can't people be nicer to toads? Like they're just like people and they just want to be loved. And I carried around those toads for like an hour. There's pictures of me somewhere just I think I put one in my bra just to chill with me because I got tired of holding it. They were fine. I was told that I had to release them at the end of the night, but I didn't want to. I was like getting in a little bit of an argument with this guy that was like, just put the toads down. And I was like, no, they're comfortable here. Like it was a disaster of the first time drinking and I'll never forget the stories I heard. I don't remember.
This
but I'll
sounds
never
like the
forget.
most beautiful disaster I've ever heard, though. You're just like, fuck you, I'm playing with my toads. Like,
I was literally arguing with people saying I didn't want to put the toads down, and they're just like, put the fucking toads down, Mereyiah. No. Fucking literally carrying one in my boobs and just having a drink, fucking sitting in the corner with my toads. Oh, can't take me anywhere, I guess.
okay, actually, you just reminded me of a question that I've been meaning to put into my banners, which are the things that appear at the bottom, if anybody's curious. And I keep fucking forgetting, but you just reminded me, so at least I'm going to remember after we're not live. What is the first awkward reptile experience that comes to mind when I ask you about awkward reptile experiences?
I mean, like today was kind of awkward.
Okay.
I mean, so I mean, if you're aware of like, if you're in the States, Craigslist, if you're in Canada, Kijiji's popular. So there's kind of like, I guess selling on Kijiji can be taboo depending. Like some people are like, nah. And some people are like, whatever. I kind of gauge who I sell to. I kind of screen them. I don't just sell to whoever. But I've made some pretty good sales on Kijiji. I've been beat on.
I love how this doesn't match what we're talking about right this second.
I know exactly what she means, though.
I do too, but it's just so funny.
But
okay,
yeah,
sorry,
so
continue.
this guy messaged me a couple weeks ago, and like this isn't the first time he's messaged me. He's messaged me on like every post I've made on Kijiji, and it comes with the territory of just posting on Kijiji. You're gonna have tire kickers, you're gonna have ghosts, it's gonna happen. But this particular guy has been asking me about animals, and sometimes on occasions I've agreed to prices, I've agreed to delivery, and then he'll ghost. So we had agreed on this one female sell 500 delivered was the price.
What was it?
Just a pastel butter proven breeder female.
Okay, so but it's still a proven breeder female for $500 delivered.
Yeah, so I was like, and like this was like 2 weeks ago, and then I had lowered her price to 400 for like the weekend only or whatever. It was just a small little quick promotion because I'd rather not bring her to the show because she's so big.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of wanted to sell her before then. But anyway, so the guy messaged me after ghosting me saying that he'll send me a deposit. It's been like a week. Message me today. Would you do 300 delivered? For a female that we already agreed on 500 delivered like a week ago. And then he ghosted me. So I like somewhat ranted towards him. I'm like, listen, I understand if you want to save a couple bucks, whatever. But, when you make a deal and then you ghost and you do this constantly, you're just wasting my time. And I happen to value my time. And then he like wanted to square up with me. He's like, where are you? Fucking like coming like Batman. Where are they? I was like, holy shit.
You should have asked him if his mom was going to drive him to fight you.
Like, it's okay. You do have a bigger penis than me. Put the feathers down. You don't have to peacock right now. Like, it's okay. And like this, he just wanted to square up. He wanted to meet me and fight me. I was like, dude, I'm just telling you that I don't want my time wasted, which is, I think, valid. And he's like, why are you being disrespectful? I was like, what? I'm not being disrespectful. I'm like, you know what's disrespectful? Exhibit A. Like, oh my God.
Everything above what I just said. Oh my God. And that leads us to what you wanted to bring up and you then weren't going to, and I told you you should.
What? You're suggesting that I have a brain cell right now.
Or ever.
What do you
It was the small dick energy comment. Never mind. It's
no. Well, you say it. It'll be funny.
No, it's fine. Don't worry. It'll come back to you like mid sentence in like 3 to 5 minutes. So it's fine. We're just gonna move on because Mereyiah said.
Okay, let me think on it.
Okay, so you've explained what you're working with now, what you're hatching this year. What are your and I say this every time to preface this question, but 3 to 5 years is a long time, and all of our plans can change drastically in 6 months. But based on where you are right now, what are some of your goals for the next 3 to 5 years?
So room goals, it doesn't necessarily have to be ARS racks, just better racks.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big goal for me. And then I would like to make super GHI pies, if I may. That would be amazing. I don't think I've seen one.
I don't think I have either.
Yeah, so I'm kind of curious on what that's going to look like.
I didn't even realize I hadn't seen one either. Neat.
Yeah.
That would look pretty cool.
I'm sure they're out there.
And Super GHI does such weird different shit in everything, too.
Yeah. So I would like to see that, and maybe like Mojave and Yellow Belly in that, too.
Mm-hmm. Maybe not Mojave, because Mojave and Pied kind of blows out pattern completely.
But I kind of like that.
But I think I'm not saying it's bad, because I love Mojave and Pied. I'm just saying it might take away from what the GHI will do. I think Yellow Belly
that is true.
I think Yellow Belly would very much accentuate it, while Mojave might actually retract from it.
You're right. That is true.
I mean, and it's still your project. You can do what you want. That's no. I'm thinking right off the hop.
But it's good to bounce ideas off people because, sometimes you don't think about those things. Like, hey, this might wash out what you're actually trying to achieve, which is true. And I'm actually going to take that advice because I think that's good advice.
And this is going to sound really funny because I just told you not to use Mojave, but you know what might be a really cool addition to that combo, to that
Blackhead?
project?
Blackhead?
Pastel.
Oh, actually, pastel.
Pastel pieds are so wild. And what you're doing is going to just blow those saddles out like crazy. So to bring the color from the pastel back in, like if you look at, I can't remember what it was that Nicole just made. Was it pastel blackhead pied?
Pastel blackhead pied.
Oh my God, that's a 2-gene pied.
Yep.
People shit on pastel all the time, but honestly, I think in a Super GHI, pastel might be insane. Like in a pied.
I actually really like pastel GHI stuff. I have a super pastel GHI female, and she almost looks DG. Mm-hmm. She's not quite DG level, but if I said to you this is a low expression DG, I probably could convince you.
I have a pastel DG Het Lab female growing up, and she's also super pastel GHI.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said DG. Oh, because you were saying that. Super pastel GHI Het Lab growing up. I wish I had friggin' DG Het Lab. And yeah, she's the same way. Just incredibly bright, like over the top.
They're I guess these guys are Het DG, so it might not count. But the pastel GHI Het DG that I just hatched out, granted he has not shed, but Nathan was convinced my female proved Het DG. He's like, you hit pastel GHI DG. I'm like, I don't think so. I think it's just a het, but just a nice one.
The hets, Oh my
It's the
god.
best.
Some of the Het DG stuff that we've been making this year, like
Oh, it's so
I
bright.
showed you that the leopard yellow belly, right? That leopard yellow belly, it almost looks like it has like the chocolate gene to it, and it's like neon. I'll send it to you after, but we hit 2 leopard yellow belly Het DG posset pieds.
Oh, wow.
One has a ringer, and the other one has tracks from about a third down her to her tail.
Wow.
So I'm pretty confident they'll both prove, but the one is just like I would have expected a visual to be less bright than this. Like that's
Yeah.
how crazy it is. Like the Het influence is nuts. And then this morning I posted a male pied probable leopard Het DG male that
Oh,
we're
wow.
considering holding back. And oh, that thing is like it's not super bright like overall, but just the intense contrast and coloration on it from the
Yeah.
brown and the pied saddles to the orange that are around the saddles. It's oh my god, it's so cool. Like they're so different from the non-DG versions or non-Het DG versions
Yeah.
that you would typically make, and it's just really cool to see.
DG is probably my favorite recessive.
I should have listened to what you were going to say before I kept nodding, but it's definitely in my top 3.
It's just, I love Pied, I love Clown. Like, they're amazing, but I just like how clean and crisp DG makes everything. I could have my favorite, like, GHM Mojave Yellow Belly. I could make that combo, which is one of my all-time favorites, the cleanest thing. And just, it's already a clean combo, but, like, it would be so intense.
Good question. If you had to switch your entire collection for an equal collection of any other animal, which animal would you choose and why? Green tree pythons. No fucking hesitation. Green tree pythons all day. I would be so happy.
Toads.
I would be covered in bites because I am not good at handling them, but I wouldn't even care.
That's really hard.
It's only easy for me because I literally have an entire leg piece.
That's a really good question.
Green tree python, that's what I meant to say.
Oh man, that's a really good question. I can't say horses. That's just cringy. Maybe
Also, an equal collection, but it being horses wouldn't be that many horses, would it?
well, depending on what kind of horses I have.
I mean, I guess.
Can I say like aspidite, like blackheads and womas?
I mean, I would consider them close enough.
Can I like do that? Can I say that?
Yes.
Okay, then that, because they are hilarious.
That would be a close second for me. To be completely honest with you, I do love Woma pythons. I still don't have one. I'm in love with that one Peter Williams made, though. Oh my god, the hybrid.
Oh yeah, it sucks that he only hit one.
I know, but still, it's amazing.
Yeah,
it's like one of the coolest snakes I've ever seen in my life, and I haven't even seen it in person.
Oh, and then that one year that I was gonna walk around with Bindi around my neck, you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna come see her," and then they told me that I couldn't have her on my shoulders. I'm like, "It's a reptile expo." Well,
and wasn't that the first time you met Michelle and like Morgan met her, but I didn't?
Yeah, I have a picture of her holding Bindi.
So mad. The worst was going to Tinley, 2019, and all the blackhead breeders. There were many, and they were all so nice. And then I found out you cannot bring them into Canada from the States.
Oh, you can't?
Nope.
Well, that's why. What's his name? Tom Elise? Is that his name? He breeds black-headed pythons in Canada. I think. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his last name right, but it's like Tom Else.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But yeah, he's brought some black-headed pythons to our expos. I held one. I asked him, I'm like, I know I can't afford it, but can I please touch? And this was before the rules were in place. And he's like, yeah, I don't care. And I was like, oh, it was like the best. Oh yeah, that sucks. That really sucks.
The worst part was Nick went going wanting to get like some really like a really cool like 1.2. What did he want? Were they Kenyan sand boas? I think that's what he wanted. No, Brazilian rainbow boas is what he was looking for. Sorry.
Oh, nice.
But he wanted something cool. He didn't just want a 1.2 rainbow boa, right? Like he wanted to get like some hypos or like something different. And you don't find any of that up here, especially in rainbow boas. So he was like, oh, go to the States. Maybe there'll be a couple options. And I was like, I'm going to find a blackhead. Even if I can't afford it right now, I'm going to find one, put some money down and pay it off and get it. Like I was decided.
Yeah.
Then I talked to Sam. And my hopes and dreams were crushed. So were Nick's, because you can't bring Brazilian rainbow boas up either for some reason.
Fuck.
Yeah.
That really sucks. I mean, I would really like a black-headed python, but for right now, I mean, I have Bindi, and then I don't know if you've ever seen pictures of her. I have a super kinked Wilma that I saved from being called.
Yep.
Her name's Crikey. She's a psycho.
I mean, I would be too.
Oh my. I mean, like, I keep her in a smaller bin because she can't move properly. So she's like, anytime I open her bin, she's like upside down with her head facing up, and she'll open her mouth immediately to try to bite me while upside down. And I'm just like, I don't know. She eats.
You don't understand how this works, do you?
So if I pick her up, I have to put a pen in her mouth because she does not let go. She won't, like, if she's latched on to me before and she doesn't let go. It doesn't hurt, but it's very inconvenient for about 30 minutes. So I have a pen that's kind of gel. So I just put it in her mouth. I pick her up, clean her bin, and put her back. And then she'll let go of the pen eventually. That's literally my system with her. Like, and because she's so kicked, she like flips back in ways that you don't expect.
Oh.
So it kind of works to her advantage. She's a dirty little asshole. She'll get you.
Backwards bite. She's like, wow.
She'll like, she kind of acts like a spider ball python with really bad wobble. Like, that's kind of her.
Thank you, Cody. I will let Nick know. I'm sure he will be very happy to hear that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I've been looking at different species recently, and I don't know why. I'm just getting the itch, like, not to like focus on something different, just to have something different.
Yeah.
And there were these boas at the last Expo. Brian had them. I can't remember his last name right now.
Leduc? Am I thinking of someone else?
The one that usually has the chihuahuas. And then he usually has like a bunch of like banana calico stuff.
Oh.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I don't know his last name though. I do know I'm
gonna feel like such a dick for not remembering it.
Oh shit.
But he had these little boas. They were tiny, tiny, tiny little things. And I remember I had never even heard of them before. I actually was looking at the pictures of them today. And they're just the coolest fucking things. Like, I want one so bad. I have no idea what I'd fucking do with it. Or why I even want it. But I want it. So bad.
I like this. I don't know if I'm saying this right. The Solomon Island ground boas.
Mm-hmm.
Those are really cool. I think those are.
A lot of the ground boa stuff and like the viper boa stuff, like they're really, really neat. Like the way that their body shapes are and stuff like that.
Yeah, I like them a lot.
Yeah, they're really, really cool.
If I had to sell the ball pythons and the blackhead and the Wolmas weren't an option, viper boas. That's because I don't know if you ever watched Brian Barczyk's vlog, but I remember when Miguel sold his viper boas to Brian, and all of a sudden one of the females just had babies and they crawled out of the tubs, and he still hasn't found the viper baby boas. They're just in his facility somewhere. I was like, oh my God, that would be nuts.
And I'm sure there's enough loose rodents running around in there too that they're probably well fed, because we've all dropped one I can only imagine when the facility's that big.
They're all like sustained and just fine.
They're breeding already. Like he's gonna have new babies soon.
There's wild viper boas in the walls.
Okay, we're coming up on an hour and a half pretty quick, so we're gonna get down to the last couple questions. What was your first big disappointment or letdown?
The fact that clown pies are so expensive, that's a letdown. No. So there's two letdowns. Will doesn't let anything go that I want. And the other letdown was I hit a super pastel blackhead phantom. It was a blackhead phantom firefly something. It was really just crazy looking. And it passed away like a week after it died. I stayed in bed probably for 3 days because it was also from my first female, the first snake that I had for this collection. So I was really excited to have one of her babies to forever keep. I don't know, it was sentimental. And then my first blackhead combo that I had hatched, and that was like gutting. I don't know if you remember, I probably posted pictures everywhere of this blackhead phantom combo. And I was like,
I think I do.
And it was also 50% het lav. Yeah, I was sad.
Was that from the female that's at Billy's?
No, the dad was the blackhead.
Oh.
The female was a phantom fire. It was the all gene. Oh no, so it was a phantom, blackhead phantom fire super pastel. 50% het lav and also pos het pied. So because the dad was 100% het lav, pos het pied, but I didn't get a chance to prove him because he passed away from a heat malfunction. I lost 2 animals to a heat malfunction, him and a champagne GHI female, which was, that was also gutting. So that was like all within a week of each other. I lost the dad and the champagne, and then like a week later that baby hatched, and I was like, oh, well, at least like I'll have his babies. Most of the clutch died because it was actually a dual sired, and the other sire, all his babies died in the egg, and that one was the only one that I believe was sired by the dad that died. And I know it was just such a shit situation. Like it couldn't have gone more wrong. But that made me pretty emotional. But I'm kind of okay now that I've got these guys because, I mean, there wasn't really a recessive attached to it. So, and it was male. So I guess it's okay now.
It's never easy to lose an animal, especially like a power animal. Like we just lost a dream skull day after it died. Female.
Gutting.
It's actually, I'm pretty sure still that it was actually Billy's new gene in a dream skull. In a female, yeah. Couple clutches before that, I lost a pastel ODYB entry pied and an ODYB entry pied, both female.
Oh, I'd be in bed for days. I wouldn't get out.
This year has been the best year we've ever had for what we've made, and the worst year we've ever had for what we've lost. It's been a real roller coaster.
Yeah, well, it's hard, especially because like it's not only just the animals passing away; it's like your projects. So
well, not only that, like the thing that got me into pieds were high pattern pieds. I never liked the white.
Yeah,
that sounds so racist, but no. But the whole like white splotches, that was never the appeal of pied to me. It was always the pattern.
Yeah.
So my thing has always been like I want to make an all pattern pied or a very like a 95% pattern pied, right? And don't both these animals end up 100% pattern and they die like as they're coming out of the egg?
Oh no. That's just the luck though. Like that's and I swear that the sex gods fucking they just find it hilarious to send me males. Like, oh,
I feel like that's what everybody feels like, just so you know, not just you.
Oh, Nathan gets it the worst though. What was his it was like 70.12 was his sex ratio the one year. Like literally hatched like just so many males. That poor guy, and he's just like, dude, I don't even need to pop him. I know it's a male. And it was a male.
Yeah, no, I was right there with them that year. I had a really bad year for males too. Not that bad, but still pretty bad. But no, I just remember like every day, or not every day, but like it was a few times a week, and he'd just be like, "Fuck, man," and I'd be like, "Oh no, what came out as a male now?"
That poor guy, though, and
I know, I felt so bad.
It's just a freaking sausage fest over there, and
But,
it's funny too because all his kids are boys so far.
I hadn't even put those two together.
That's He's really like, funny. I just make males.
So it's a him problem then.
Yeah, I think it's a personal problem.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm glad at least we figured that part out.
Yep. Well, it is what it is.
But yeah, you know what? It's really funny because I feel like everybody at some point feels like they're like cursed, like for males.
Yeah.
Literally, I had 2 DG clutches at my place. I had 7 eggs and 12 eggs. I think I got 4 or 5 females out of all of them.
Oh, harsh. That's harsh.
So I was like, oh, I mean, this couldn't get any worse. And then that clown clutch I just hatched came out, and literally they came out one by one as the sexes I hoped for. It was so funny too, because literally like that pastel one crawled out, and I was like, man, it'd be really cool if this is a female. Popped it. I was like, holy shit, that's actually a female. Like I just made like a 3 possible 4-gene pinstripe clown female.
That's awesome.
And like I was happy. First animal out of the egg. I was like, man, if everything else is a boy, I'm happy. Second thing was that spot nose yellow belly pin female, the clown.
Wow.
Third that crawled out was the pewter pin clown. And I was like, you know what? If this is a male, I don't mind because I don't want to keep it. Like I have enough pastel in my clown stuff, and I'm already keeping back the pastel spot nose pin lesser, whatever the hell it was, that didn't have cinnamon in it. So I was like, if this is a male, it's fine. Pop that. Of course it's a male. And I was like, perfect. Now I have something to sell. And then there's one that I believe is cinnamon spot nose pin clown. Came out female. Then the cinnamon spot nose pin yellow belly clown, or what I think is that combo, came out male. So the most powerful animal of the clutch came out male.
Which isn't too bad because then you can put that.
No, I was very happy about that. That's what I was hoping for, because now I have an animal that has a bunch of genes I don't have in my other clowns, and he doesn't have pastel, and he doesn't have lesser, and he doesn't have leopard. You know what I mean? Like he's a 4-gene clown, and every gene in him works for what I want to do in clown. It's just I couldn't ask for much more. And then the het, I got 5 out of 6 visuals. And then the het is like I think it's a pewter spot nose pin, and it might even be yellow belly. It might be all 5 genes, and that came out a female too.
Perfect. Can't complain.
So I was literally just like, this has never happened before. Like it literally came out like my perfect odds. I was like, cool, I can make $1,000 on that animal, and I get the horde back 5. Like,
yeah. I don't know if you're the same as me, but when I hit a female and it seems like it's not believable, I pop it again, and then I'll like wait a couple days, and then I'll pop it again. I'm like, are you sure?
I've stopped doing that because every time I see it getting red, I'm like, oh man, if this is a female and I fuck something up right now because I'm the one being an asshole, I'm like,
yeah.
So I try to just I'll check it like once or twice, like every couple of weeks, but like, oh man, I couldn't imagine what I would do if I hit this amazing female that I'm just over the moon about. And it was my stupid fault that this animal can't breed because I sexed it 45 times before it was a week old.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. But I'm like, I don't believe, like my GHI pied female, like I haven't sexed her because I know she's female now, but like, I'm like, are you?
And like, then once you've convinced yourself, you start questioning it still. You're like, but did I check you enough times? What if this time there's hemipenes?
Yeah. And once it hits 1,000 grams, I can't pop anymore. I don't have that skill. So I'm like,
I mean, you just got to try harder.
Yeah, I could.
So it's funny because I was going through, I want to say it was like Sunday or Monday. I went through and did my entire hatching rack, like a full clean, because it's a full rack right now. Like it's 40 animals packed full, and then Nick has a bunch at his place too. So I ran through and did a full clean, disinfected everything. And while I was doing it, I just rechecked the sexes of my pied head DG clutch. So that was our 12 egg clutch. I got 6 pieds, 6 non-pieds. So perfect odds for visuals. And then from the non-pieds, we got 4 out of 6 leopards. So did slightly better there.
Yeah.
And I would say if I had to guess, we probably got 4 to 6 leopard on the pied as well. But everybody knows that pied and leopard and pied is
it's kind of hard.
something to deal with. But so I checked the 2 that I know I'm keeping, and they were what they were. I went through the rest, male. And then I got to the last animal, which I wanted to keep, but I was pretty sure was a male. And I was like, okay, it's pretty cool, but I don't want to keep it just because basically what it is it looks like it has a patch of normal leopard paradoxing coming through on a saddle.
Yeah.
Like not like just that the kind of greenish hue that the leopard gets.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's got almost a little bit of that on one of the saddles. And like I really liked it, but I was like, man, if this is a male, like I can't justify keeping a male if I have a breeding leopard DG het pied. Like I have a full-size breeding better visual of this, like the better version of this, right? So I was like, whatever. And this one's the only one that's given me any trouble eating at all this year. I've had no trouble with any of my other babies, other than the shark mouth babies, but I'm not counting them. And I popped it, and I didn't see hemipenes. And I stopped myself for a second, and she's considerably smaller than the rest of them. So they're all probably around 110 grams now, 120 grams. Like they're just getting to that size where I'd personally feel comfortable selling them. I know other people sell them a little smaller.
Yeah.
But they're, hitting that 100 grams, 120 gram size. And she's probably still sitting around like 85, 90. Like she came out like 60. So she's eating, just not as much.
Yeah.
So I sexed her once and I stopped myself and I put her back and I was like, wait a minute. And my babies this year are ultra aggressive because I started doing something Peter Williams suggested, which I didn't realize I interpreted incorrectly, but apparently it works my way too. So I guess what he would do is take the animals out of the incubator once they hatched, and then put them in a tub, like not an incubator tub, like a rack tub, and leave them till they shed. But then he would leave them together for another week after that, and then separate them and feed them.
Okay.
He said he had phenomenal feeding response and everything was like amazing and all that kind of stuff. So I left mine together in the incubation tub for an extra week. I just put a cup of water in there with them, so they had drinking water.
Yeah.
And holy shit, these things are fucking nightmares. Like in the best way possible. They eat like you wouldn't fucking believe. But especially the first couple meals. Like, they're ravenous. It's so funny. And trying to sex these animals, it's like, oh, you're a male. Ow. What the how do you even get out? Like, and like, they're like going out of their way to like bend their head back to bite you and stuff like that. Like, it's nuts. So like, I took like 3 bites sexing her the one time, or him, I'm not sure. And I was like, do I really want to risk doing this again? I was like, yeah, I definitely do. So I sexed her, him, I'm not sure yet, one more time, and got bit like 5 more times. And it still appeared to be a female. And I've never made the mistake that way before.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering if it's just because she came out so small and maybe I over popped her and I just didn't I didn't want to put an extra, I don't know. Because if anybody doesn't know, you can over pop a female and basically drive too much blood into their scent glands, and it makes them go really red and almost look like hemipenes. Sorry, I just read a comment in the chat and it totally distracted me.
That's all right.
But it's very possible that happened. But basically, I decided that I'm going to wait till she hits like 110, 120 grams.
Yeah.
And I'll decide what to do with it until I know for sure. Because if that's a female, that's not going anywhere.
No, I wouldn't either.
But the thing that sucks is if that's a female, I got better sex odds on my females, which doesn't actually suck. But those were the only animals that I had that were worth much that I was going to actually sell, like those males. And I'm already trading one to Skylar.
Oh, yeah.
Because he has 2 pin het DG pied females that he wants to trade for one of them. And I love my pinstripe. So that would put me down to 2 males to sell, and I thought I had 4. That's a considerable difference. But it's a wild ride sometimes.
It's funny you mention like psycho. I do that. What you do with your incubator, I leave my babies all together and let them shed all together in the incubator still.
Yep.
So and then they all get separated into their bins once they're shed, but they are fucking mean. So especially I have this what is he off the top? Enchi lesser hypo male.
Mm-hmm.
And I have never hooked a ball python before. And I don't hook him for my own safety. Like, I'm not afraid of getting bit by him. But he literally ninja flips out of my hand. So I'm afraid that he's going to fall. And, like, I know I'm short, but that's still a long fall for him. But, like, so I have to hook him if I want a picture of him because he's such a douchebag. He's literally a fucking douchebag. And I'm nervous. This is the most daunting thing about going to the expo. I know that someone's going to want to see him out in my hands, and I'm going to just get ripped apart and he's going to ninja flip onto the damn floor because someone's going to want to see him. Oh, it's like that.
Just don't take him out and just hold him close. Just be like, look as close as you want.
I'm going to like hold his head gently with my thumb and just be like, this is him.
Yeah.
Like,
here, touch his tail. No,
here, I'll put him in a bin and you can like look at him in the bin. Like that's about as far as, because he literally will ninja flip out of your hand. He thinks he's some type of like prodigy, I guess, for it, but most snake.
Okay, I need to eat. So 2 more questions. We're going to take this question. I have 1 question, and then we're going to call it.
All right, sounds good.
So what's the first thing you would tell somebody who wanted to get into the hobby?
I mean, buy females. Ignore males right now unless you're buying like a breeding pair. But if you're
I wouldn't even buy anything that you'd get in a pair right now. Like when you first start out is not something you'll end up needing by the time you have any kind of growth.
Oh no, I mean like already like proven breeder, like
oh gotcha, okay.
Ready to go. That's the only time that I'd be like, okay, if you want a male, if you have a breeder female ready to go, then but like if you're getting any female that's not breeding size, don't get a male. You don't need one. You don't need one until they're like, I don't know, a year off from breeding. And then if you want to get a hatchling male to grow up with her for that year, then you're golden. But it makes no sense to get a male right at the same time. And then your male's going to be outdated 4 years later.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you can probably
I've seen so many people make that mistake. They'll fall into the buy this 1.1
yeah
pair, and they'll be like, oh, it's such a good deal. It's like, yeah, because even you being brand new will never need that male. Like that's why that animal is in that package. That's why that package is so cheap.
Yeah.
Generally speaking.
Really,
but, you're 100% correct. The first thing I would say is say goodbye to your fucking money.
Oh yeah,
right. Say goodbye to your free time.
Yep.
You make some cool friends though, so that's pretty sweet. As long as you're not a Kijiji shit, I guess.
Fucking Kijiji. I can't believe that guy wanted to square out. He's like wanted to meet with me to fight me. Like, I will fight dirty. You will get sand in your eye. I will like
oh, you employ pocket sand? I'm so proud.
I would. He would have had to drive from Windsor, so I could have been prepared. So like I would have had time.
My favorite question and the final question. If you could remove one gene from the entire hobby, what would it be? And would that answer change if it was only your collection that was impacted?
See, I can't say what I want to say because you love it. I'm not going to say it.
Go for it. No. You can be wrong.
Pinstripe.
What's that? G-stripe?
Pinstripe.
G-stripe? Perfect. I agree.
Okay, and I do have valid reason, and it's not all pinstripes. Let me somewhat explain. So I love pinstripe pieds. I do like them. I like pinstripe lavenders. I like pinstripe bananas. If it changes that, and I like pinstripe clowns. I do like pinstripe clowns. But like pinstripe pastels, pinstripe. Okay, pinstripe GHI is the only GHI that I hate. I don't like it. It's brown. It takes away that deep chocolatey black. Oh, she's so pretty.
She is. She's a little princess.
I'm glad you found her.
I'm glad I found her both times.
Oh, yeah, I guess the first, yeah. Fair.
Fucking dum-dum.
Looks like a sweetheart.
Anyway, I actually agree with you about GHI pinstripes. The thing is, though, with pinstripe, like, pinstripe is like pastel. I feel like you can't blame pinstripe for a bad pinstripe combo.
Yeah.
Because it's not pinstripe's fault that you put it there.
You
Just
have
like
to
pastel. If you make a shitty pastel combo, it's not pastel's fault that you put it in a bad fucking combo. It's your fault.
If it modifies it's not the pattern that I don't like. It's not at all. It's just the color, and if there's a combination that modifies that color, I like it. So it's just
it's funny because I love the color. I love how you can use that chocolate brown as a base.
It's just I had a lot of pin because Jesse Wilson was like pin, and I was like, yeah, mentor. And then
how did I end up with a huge group of animals from his collection and not end up with a single pinstripe in the Dreamskull project?
Because I bought the pinstripe lab het pied. That was a gorgeous female. That was the one lavender animal that I really regret selling. I was like,
yeah, you should have sold it to me. Duh.
I forgot who got her.
Did you see the pin dream that Michelle made?
Yes.
That woman needs to share the horseshoes because she's got like 5.
I know. I would like one. Even half of a horseshoe. Would it still work?
I think that might be a little sharp.
I'm not sticking it anywhere. I just fucking hang it.
That's the only way it works, though. It has to go up your ass, otherwise it doesn't work.
Okay, you're telling
me. Then it's just a horseshoe. Okay,
let me just ask.
Come on.
So you think that a stick and maybe like a little bit of a half of you would hurt more than this?
If it's sharp.
Okay, this going up your ass would not be a good fun time.
I'm not.
That would be safe.
I understand that you're trying to make a horseshoe.
That safe word, 100%. Somewhat like my finger can't.
I'm just saying that a half a horseshoe would have a sharp edge versus a whole horseshoe which wouldn't have a sharp edge. That's all.
I see what you're saying. I think either would be unpleasant.
I don't think either are going to be pleasant. I wasn't saying one was going to be better than the other. I'm just saying it wouldn't be great. Like, I'm sure like there wouldn't be a fun time to be had having either of those situations happen. Jesus Christ. Anyway, so
I'm tearing up a little bit. That's funny.
Okay, so is that your answer inside and outside your collection?
So would that answer change if it was restricted to your collection? So what?
So you can remove one gene out of your entire collection.
Okay, I don't have pinstripe, so I'll use something that I have.
So you just picked something you don't even have any of, so it's not even going to help you. You're just getting rid of it to be a spiteful bitch.
Yeah. Okay, but I have had it. So I actually did this purge. Like I got rid of my pin. I literally did the question. So you asked me the question, what would you get rid of in your collection? And I said pin because it was true. That's what I got rid of in my collection. Does that count? Like, I feel like that fucking counts. I literally did what your
Okay,
question
what's your
asked.
answer if it had to be your collection now?
I have experience with this question. It's valid.
That's fine. I'm getting rid of GHI. Fuck you.
I'll take it all then. That's okay.
No, I mean I'm getting rid of the gene. It's gone from
Aw. Well.
And I love it. That's just to spite you. I'm actually physically hurting my own collection just to hurt you.
There's Blackhead. I'll be fine. I'll miss it, but there's Blackhead.
All those GHI animals are just gonna look like normal animals.
I would so I would take it would either be I really like Lesser. I do, but I have so much Bell stuff and I prefer Mojave over Lesser.
Mm-hmm.
So I would probably take Lesser out of the equation.
Lesser's always my answer.
I was going to say Pastel. However, there's a lot of combos in here that I do like with Pastel.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, even with all the stuff I have that's like Pastel Clown and like Het Clown and stuff like that, and I don't like Pastel Clowns, I still wouldn't get rid of it just because the potential of other stuff with those animals makes that Pastel version worth it to me. Like, it's still going to look nice. Whereas Lesser, like, if I just immediately lost the concern for pairing up the wrong animal making bells, because there's Lesser on both sides of a lot of my projects, it would strongly open up the possibilities of what we could do. Would it make some of my animals weaker? Sure. But the argument to that is, how much does Lesser add to a combo, even if it's a super high-end combo? If I have let's say a Batman. I have a male Batman, right? Yeah. How much does Lesser add to a Batman? Realistically. I'm not saying what Morph Market says.
Not much.
Sure, they're listed higher.
It makes your pairings harder.
What value does it add to that pairing? Because everybody's buying that Lesser Batman for the spot nose, the leopard, and the clown.
Yeah.
Nobody's buying it because it has Lesser. And I shouldn't say nobody. I'm sure there might be a few people.
The wrong people. No kidding.
But no, it's the truth. Like, even some people go out of their way to look for combos that have Pastel. They just think they look nicer, and that's fine. But I don't know many people that actively look for Lesser combos. Unless there's a specific Lesser combo that looks a specific way, like Lesser GHI, for example. Mojave GHI. Like, some people like Lesser because it's a lighter version, right? Some people like the GHI Lesser version. Lesser Spot Nose Het Clown. People love those. They are beautiful. But I mean,
honestly,
I don't know.
If my super Enchi GHI didn't have Lesser, I'd keep him. But because he has Lesser, I'm like, my hands are kind of tied with him.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say that GHI Enchi Lesser combos are fucking mint looking. Like, the Lesser does really make those combos look nice because I have GHI Enchi, but the Lesser, it creates like a beigey gray that's kind of like a granity beigey gray.
Well, because it brings the pattern back to the already cool palette that the Lesser GHI has, right? And as soon as you bring pattern back, you bring color interruption. So like it just sort of creates a whole new snake. And they are really amazing animals. The joke I always make though when I say that I would get rid of Lesser is it has nothing to do with what I want. It has nothing to do with wanting to hurt somebody else's collection. I just really want to see those hundreds and hundreds of pumpkin spice latte loving white girls wake up one morning and their little fucking Belle Nagini is a normal.
Oh my God.
I'm a terrible person.
You would help me in some ways, but fuck me over in others. I mean, like, I wouldn't be depressed if Lesser, because Mojave is the better Bell gene in my opinion, especially with like GH. I mean, Leopard Mojave is beautiful. like even with just 2 gene combos.
Well, Mojave also gives you more options even in the Bell complex, because you put a lesser to a Phantom and it's a white snake still. You put a Mojave to a Phantom, it's not, right? So Mojave opens up your options even just within the Bell family on its own.
That is true. I didn't think of it that way. That is true. Yep.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
So, yeah, no, I think it's a good answer.
Yeah, it is.
All right. Well, we're almost at 9 o'clock and I have not eaten yet. So we are going to wrap this up. Mereyiah, thank you very, very much for coming on. This was super fun. This is one of the first ones we've actually gone past an hour and a half in a long time. I am impressed. Really? It did not feel like 2 hours.
No, flew by.
But thank you once again. This was very fun. We had a really good audience for a good portion of this. Like, we were hovering around 20 people. It got up to, I think, 30 at one point. So,
good.
Yeah, thanks everybody for coming. This was great. Yeah, Mereyiah, I'm gonna drop you off the screen. If you want to take off and just text me, feel free. Or if you want to stay, we can chat for a sec after. It's up to you. Just gonna say goodbye, and we're gonna be out of here. Thanks again, Mereyiah.
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Well, that was fun as fuck. I'm going to try not to ramble on because I usually end up doing that. But thanks, guys. I actually don't have a guest lined up for next week yet. I haven't decided if I'm going to do a show or not, only because next Sunday is the Expo, as we were talking about during the show. And it being our first Expo, we have a lot to prepare for. If I end up having the time, of course, I'd love to have a show. Always do. I love doing these. These are fun as hell, and I like interacting with you guys. Yeah, if it ends up happening, it will be on our Instagram. We will advertise it. You'll have the link on our Facebook, all that fun stuff. So just stay tuned. If we do one, it might just be a lower key one. Might just do one with me and Nick. It's been over half a year since we've done just a Reptile Award Friday Night Live. So maybe we can just do a Q&A. But yeah, guys, that's all I have to say. Thanks again. If you're watching this and you're not subbed, please sub. We're very, very close to our goal of 1,000 subs. We are doing a giveaway for a big sticker pack and a custom snake tumbler by Sewing by Melissa. Yeah, thanks, guys. And, stay tuned for the next one. If it's not next week, it'll be the week after. See ya.